Me now, you know, it goes as like this. I was born in Kingston, Jamaica. I grew up in London, went back to Jamaica in 1971. I was in London from 1963 when I was 5 years old, and I went back to Jamaica in 1971 when I was 13. Well, during the course of the time when I was in Jamaica, now young, going to school, this reggae music is all around me, because in London we are pop music and all these stars. So in Jamaica now it's a different thing now. As a youth growing up, I hear this music. And two voices in particular caught my attention was U-Roy and Big Youth. And normally what I would do, when I'm going to school, my lunch money, I would take my lunch money and go downtown and buy all the latest U-Roy, all the latest Big Youth. Go to school, when I go home, do my homework, then I take the records, play them, and I write down every single lyrics of all of these songs, and then the records, because you know, back in those days, the flip side, you got versions. So I would play it on my mother's stereo when I was there, doing it, I had that pat down real good. Then we've got, we have a lot of sound system like Soul Express from our area, and Arrows, me, Carlton, Welton Irick, Putty Roots. We met this Christian guy who was going to church. Yeah, his name is Tony Walcott. Well, he's a very good friend of Carlton Don, and he has a lot of dub plates. So he said he's going to try us out on the dub plates. So every Sunday, the same team, we Carlton, Welton and Putty, we all go to Tony's. He puts on the dub plate, we don't know which round, he says, Carlton, sing on that. Ranger, DJ on that. And I'm like, I don't know where to start. So every Sunday, we do this until we got real good. Then we went to Carlton's studio, we met Mr. Don, we recorded. Well, you know, I had my name already because my name is Lone Ranger. I got my name out of a dancehall clash in East Kingston, in Rototom Town, where I was DJing a sound. I alone was DJing the sound, and the other sound, it was about 5 DJs. So they were all DJing, and the place was real hot. And then that sound ended, then it was my time to come on. So I took the mic and I said, right now, the better than the Dillinger, harder than Trinity, tougher than Eastwood. My name is the Lone Ranger, that's why I act like a stranger. And from that day, the name And after that, you know, we started to do recording and things. And the first song that I ever did for Studio One was The Answer. That got a lot of airplay, and then 3 Mile Skank, School on the North Coast. And then we decided to do some production for ourselves, and we did Barnabas Collins, which was my first #1 hit in 1979. And in that year was a very good year for me because I entered reggae. I was on Reggae Sunsplash with Bob, 79 and 80. Barnabas Collins was a #1 hit worldwide, and that's where I got my first tour to come to France in 1979. And when I came here, it was mostly bands, and there was no rubber duck thing going on, nothing like that. But I'd walk with my records, and we had a couple of clubs that we book, and I would do the style, and people were like, wow, this is new, we first were seeing this. And this was going on, and at the same time, I have Big Tune, next year, 1980, I got a massive hit, The Love Bomb, the Studio One, which was worldwide again, came back to Paris again, went back to Jamaica. Then in 1980, I got another massive hit again, Rosemary, and this time I was called to go to New York, to Madison Square Garden, to do a lot of shows. But basically music, my thing about the music is cultural, commercial style, a little gimmicks. You know, you DJ, you know, you have to have a lot of clarity in your voice, because when you DJ, you want people to hear what you're saying. You don't want to be saying a lot of mumbo jumbo. People say, what did you just say? No. You have to be clean, clear, clarity, style, melody, all this combined in one, and that's just me. Lone Ranger, no stranger. Yeah. So normally when I go to Carlton don't say, Ranger, write this, or do that rhythm. He says, Ranger, choose the rhythm. I know the rhythm that's in the dance or play because I'm rocking it. So I choose these rhythms, and I record these rhythms. And most of the tunes that I do with Carlton, let's shoot one. All these tunes that I do are experience. Carlton, he always has some form of experience, and when he's doing this in Lone Ranger, come, we're going to try something. On the other side of dub, I did about 14 tracks. And Carlton said, you know, we're going to try something. We're going to put vocals on one side and versions on the other side. I'm going to call it Lone Ranger on the other side of dub. That's how on the other side of dub came. Then after on the other side of dub, that was the year of, I was working soul to soul, the song. After on the other side of dub, I did an album called Better Than Them. This was the prime time of me when I was DJing a song called Virgo, which was the sound system of that year. After that, you know, New York. And then I was working on the last album, Top of the Class. That was really an experimental album. Carlton called me and said, Ranger, you know what? This album, we're going to do a little computer, we're going to do a little original, we're going to do a little rubber dub. So that's how this album came about.